Hey guys, welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about the Dune films. If you haven't seen them already, be sure to check them out. They will blow your socks off. They are truly incredible. As Ben Shapiro put it, they mark the greatest science fiction film that has been produced ever. So let's get into that. Firstly, I want to talk about Frank Herbert a little bit, who is the writer of the Dune series. He said that he wrote it as a sort of a warning or disclaimer about charismatic religious leaders. I don't really understand his reasoning in that, although I haven't read all the Dune books, but from what I can see, like I said, I don't understand his reasoning because in terms of good leadership, I think people generally only follow people who are charismatic, that have something that draws people to them. And as a leader, Paul marks several boxes. He is well trained, he's well educated, he is wise, he can see potential futures, so he tries to create situations for the best outcomes. And he's a noble character, so I don't quite understand Frank Herbert's reasoning in saying that he wrote the book as a disclaimer for or a warning for charismatic leaders. But let me know in the comments what you think. Next, I want to talk about Denis Villeneuve, who directed the two films. I think it's a great passion project of his because he has apparently been a big fan of the book since his teens, and it really shows. He's worked with an incredible team and he's made another great masterpiece. It's just off the charts in every way. A lot of CGI was used in the making of the film, and it's really not, you don't notice it at all. So it's just incredible. Hats off to Denis Villeneuve, and I hope he gets all the recognition he deserves. Next, I want to talk a little bit about Hans Zimmer, who is responsible for the soundtrack along with his team. It was incredibly done. One one YouTuber or commenter said that Denis Villeneuve and Hans Zimmer sort of used a particular performance. I think they call it throat singing, which we'll check out in the video. They reckon it's kind of like a cheat code to make any moment look epic. And there's particular moments where Paul's character has like a character arc or character development. The first of which is when he puts his hand into the box of pain, and he has the Gom Jabbar test, and we see a particular moment where he kind of goes through to this eclipse of pain and kind of lets it pass through him. And he meets the eyes of the Reverend Mother. Really epic part. And apparently also in this film, Hans Zimmer and his team actually sort of created different instruments to create a more immersive experience with the music. One part, or one example of which is that they put some kind of recorder or microphone into the sand when they were filming the scenes with the thumpers, which called the worms, and it helped to create a more immersive experience. So, wow, just incredible. It's just a really beautiful soundtrack. It reminds me a little bit of Gladiator, which obviously also is an incredible masterpiece. So check it out and let me know in the comments what you think. Then I want to talk about the costuming. All absolutely fantastic. A couple of shout-outs specifically is for the stall suits that the Fremen wear. One thing I quite liked about it is that they left it sort of rustic looking, if you will, where there's still a lot of sand on, since they're in the deserts, and I like that look that makes it more organic or real. Then we have Rebecca Ferguson's outfits as the Reverend Mother. I really love that. Apparently, she asked Denis Villeneuve that her entire face was not covered, and I think that was a really good call on her part, because it helped her be able to act through her facial expressions a little bit more, compared to Charlotte Rampling, whose face was almost completely shrouded and nearly invisible. And the way that they just put a little bit of light jewelry over Rebecca Ferguson's face, and they did like the face tattoo and things like that, really worked beautifully. And then we had the costumes worn by Florence Pugh's character of Princess Irulan. Also, I loved it. In particular, there's a outfit where she's speaking to the Reverend Mother, and she's got this sort of like medieval looking garments on, where it kind of frames her face. There seems to be a lot of beading in the costume, and I just think it looks spectacular. And then lastly, the chainmail dress that she wears in the scene where Paul comes through and he kills the Baron, and then later on when he faces off with Feyd-Rautha, and he gets the Emperor to sort of kiss his finger. In all those scenes, Florence Pugh's got the same chainmail costume on, and it's incredible. Love it to bits. So yeah, be sure to check it out. If you have any favorites of your own, let me know in the comments. Also, I love the set design. Almost, I mean, not every, but so many of the shots were poster worthy. For example, when Paul lets off one of the atomic bombs, he's in the middle, and the bomb sort of frames him on the outside. It's a fantastic shot, and you have so many like sunrise and sunset shots, particularly with him and Feyd-Rautha when they face off with one another. Wow, just so awesome. And then one thing I also like quite a lot is that although these sets were quite minimalist, their expanse helped to create that monumental, elegant feel, which I thought was really cool. And another thing about that is that with a lot of science fiction films, you tend to get a oversaturation of color, whereas in this film, it was very minimalist. Each planet had its coloring, and he sort of stuck to that. And I think it really worked so beautifully, because it gives a specific style, and it tells a story with that coloring. So hats off to that, and let me know in the comments what you think. And I also just want to talk about what is called in the book the weirding way, which is the voice that they use. Now, I know many people have said that it comes across as sort of creepy and demonic, which I understand. However, I still think it's really cool. I think from what I've read in the book, I see the how powerful it is, and how powerful it makes their characters. I don't really mind it that much, but I can see why people think it's a little that it rubs people the wrong way. But yeah, tell me in the comments what you think. But I think it works really well, and I like how as Paul's character develops, and as he sort of takes on the mantle of the Lisan al-Gaib and embraces himself properly, that he is able to wield the weirding voice more effectively. So let me know in the comments what you think. So if this film does not make a clean sweep of the Oscars, I don't know. But I definitely, from my side, think it's one of the best films that I've ever seen. This is the only time I've ever been to the cinema 2 times. Never before. So that's a new thing. So definitely go and check it out. I'm excited to hear what you think in the comments, and happy movie viewing.